Well, got a little bit of time this afternoon before I go inside, so helping John out, cutting these windows out for him while he's getting other stuff to work on the car. So he's gunned out the urethane, and now, just like that, window is removed. Well, these are tempered glass. These are very, you usually use a cable, cut the urethane out, same with the back glass, but I don't have mine right now, so we're going to attempt to use a cutout gun very gently to remove them. If they break, they break, but we're going to try our best, so let's get after it. Oh, yeah, don't break that one. What? Yeah. Alright guys, well, my younger brother does not believe that I can get this out. He did say that it was because it's curved, and this is tempered glass. There's a very big chance that we're going to break this, so we're going to hope our best, to be honest. I don't have like I said before, I don't have my wire cutter, so we're just going to be gentle with it, try to get it out. Take it out to get painted or whatever.
Lift up your side a little bit.
Just be very careful when it's just going to smack the edge.
The rigidity is the...
Well, if you smack the edge, it explodes.
Okay.
Just like that, guys, all the windows are out. Well, besides the door glass, but he's going to work on that. Yeah, we got all this out. Did not break it, actually. Pretty wild. I was actually believing it was going to, but yeah. Anyways, all the quarters are out, windshield's out, everything's ready to go. So now they can start caging, worrying about that kind of stuff. Don't have to worry about breaking glass on accident. All right, guys, back out here working on the car. I'm gonna set the camera up. We can start doing bumpers. John's currently clearancing his car to fit stuff. A little sledgehammer and a sawzall. And then Chris got the old cage actually pretty well done up. I had to rob some cage parts of some of the other cars, but we got the cage all burned in here. I mean, hopefully we'll be getting this fabrication done hopefully this week.
Look at this.
Dang!
I still got it.
Look at that. It looks better than most of them on my car, so I think we'll be all right. So he's going to tie some tubes in the back. I'm going to start making the front bumper. Figuring all that out. So that way we can start actually tying the tubes in and getting this car done so we can paint it. So let's get after it. Alright guys, this is kind of where we're at. Do not look close to the welds. They are probably some of the worst I've done in a long time. But this is the plan. So we got the nice angulator on the front. And I was going to do the angulator on the front, on the top too, and just kind of build a big V-shaped plow. But John brought up a good point. He said, why don't you angle the middle one and just kind of tie them all backwards. That way, when this car's down on the ground, because it's obviously way in the air, the bumper's going to be pretty close. So hopefully the idea is that when we come up behind somebody, we can pick the back up with the front of the bumper and spin them out. Is that going to work? I have no idea, but this is what we're trying. Speaking of that, hopefully it's not too low. It doesn't plow the dirt. That would kind of suck. I do have frame stiffeners coming, or spring stiffeners, so we should be able to jack the front of the car up just a little bit, keep it away from the ground. But yeah, let's protect the pan, hopefully not bounce and drag the front bumper. That'd be ideal, but for right now, we're going to call it a night. It's already pretty late, but this is where we got today. Phone shut off. We didn't actually get a lot of this on video, but unfortunately, it is what it is. All right, guys. So we've been busy on the car, and I've been kind of slacking on recording, but we've been out here jamming away quite a bit recently, and we got some stuff done. So we're going to take a look, see what we got done. John's car is getting very close. They got a lot of the paintwork done, cages in it. He's got all of his crossbars, you know, a bunch of support up front, towards the back, all that stuff. So they've got a lot of work done on that. We're going to be putting the motor in it hopefully tonight. But my car's pretty close, so let's take a look. So the biggest thing obviously is the bumper. We built a bumper one night out of a bunch of tubing we had. So it's kind of just I don't even know what you'd call this thing. V plow, V front bumper, I don't know. Yeah. Kind of designed it like the front of a train. I don't know. The thought was go behind a car, catch them on the bumper and pick them up a little bit so you could spin them out easier. I don't know if that's actually going to work. Probably not, but we did tie it. We cut holes to the firewall, tied it to the cage front up there. So when this gets pushed against, it's pushing against the cage and not bending the subframe. The other thing is we started stickering it up and painting it. So let's kind of look at the scheme. I am regretting doing the gold tips on the flames. I wish I would have left them black, but it is what it is. So we got some sponsors up top all over the car. And if you look close, those are the new wheels. These are brand new 27 tall skid steer tires. You know, I don't really know what else you want to say. We welded some rings in the wheels to help those be stiffer, hopefully not lose the bead right away. I mounted these, and they ended up putting the passenger ones on backwards, so the tread's facing the wrong way. So we're gonna have to wait to put those on anyways, because we got to do brakes. So we'll get those fixed, get those suckers put on the car. We just kind of wanted to see what it was going to look like. The shifter showed up. This is from a demo company online. It's kind of a pain to get, but I'm not going to name the company. It is what it is. So we finally have this now. We can get this thing installed. This very simple. Bolts to the back of the transmission housing, sticks through the floor, and this is a park lockout. So all the way back is reverse, all the way forward is first. Very, very simple setup. So right now, Chris got the old brakes off because I tried to take the bleeder screw out and they just snapped immediately. So instead of farting with it, we just bought brand new calipers and a new master. The master cylinder has seen some better days. I don't know if you can see that in there, but it's a little crunchy. So we're gonna leave that. We're not even gonna mess with it. I'd like to have good brakes in the car, so do that, and then we're gonna figure out shocks and all that stuff. But for now, let's start on the brakes. Probably, I don't know, I gotta look and see if I got shocks. I might play around with that a little bit. And starting getting this thing ready to drive. That's the next step. I'd like to take it out in the pasture and test it, so. All right, guys, as you can see, we got John's motor in. It was a little bit of a fight. We had to kind of wiggle it back and forth. Didn't really want to quite line up super easy, but we got that sucker in there. It's all bolted down. Trans cross member is in. Drive line is in it. We got that shortened. We had to take 3.5 inches out of the drive line. So if you look under here, everything's all tied in there. It's all good to go. John is currently in town getting intake gaskets. We're swapping this car for me if I had a carburetor. Get rid of all that junk. So it's just, one wire to the distributor. Oh yeah, changing the HEI too. Get rid of that mythical, bzz, bzz, bzz box. So standard HEI, dual plane intake, at a Brock car, real basic setup. Just to make it simple for this car. We got the Nova. It's getting close. There's a couple things we got to finish up to be able to drive it. Right now we're trying to gravity bleed the brakes. We're still fighting this. Tried bleeding them last night. Couldn't get fluid to come out of them. I bench blade the master. It's still not really sucking fluid the way I want it to. So we're gonna have to fart around with this and try to get these brakes to bleed. I don't really know at the moment what's going on. Ren's still fighting this. Ren's fighting pretty hard right now. The problem is that right now, if we tighten the U-bolts down on that side, and of course the bolts I got are way too long, but ignore that. There's a gap. There's a gap in between the spring bottom plate or the top. There's just not enough meat there to sandwich the leaf spring in it, so the rear end's still loose. So what we're gonna do is take square tubing and make just a chunk to go underneath, drill a hole in it for the whatchamacallit, and then we're gonna stick those in there to space it, take up the room, and then suck it down to that. So it kind of sucks because I have a little bit of, tubing sticking underneath the axle, but it is what it is. We did get the driveline shortened for this one. This is out of a truck. This is just, standard truck driveline. I took 9.5 inches out of it, welded the end back on. It's pretty straight. It'll work for what we're doing. The way I did that is I just cut the weld in the center, and then basically all the way around it, smack the end off with a hammer, because this has a shoulder inside of it. Cut the tube, pounded that back in, and just like that. So it's not going to be balanced, but it's good enough for what we're doing. And mainly that's kind of what's stopping us. I got the shifter all finaled in yesterday. We had to cut the mount up and kind of make our own mount welded to the cage there and the floor. I also did have to, if you can see there, I used a bolt to extend it. We were a little too short, but there we go. We just got a piece of pipe that welded to it. So right now it's in first, reverse all the way back. push this in and pull it back and push it in park. So pretty simple, very easy setup. Should be pretty reliable. But yeah, it's kind of where we're at right now. We're kind of just, you know, getting the stuff ready to be able to run, get it to drive it. So, all right, guys, little update in the get my car builds, I guess. We attempted to bleed the brakes. Me and Chris have been bleeding for, I don't know, 2 hours trying to get stuff to work, and finally got fluid coming out of the rear. We thought, yes, finally we get brakes. There's no shoes or anything in these brakes at all, so that was a big, massive waste of time. And then after bleeding the front for a while, ended up bleeding it at the proportioning valve, thinking that maybe that was just full of air. There was some air in it, but the lines are collapsed under the calipers, so yeah, no brakes today. Now we're gonna order some, you know, soft lines, replace that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's no more brake stuff today. Chris just changed the radiator out. It was kind of leaking like crazy, so got that one swapped in there. I just cut some little plates, and I'm about to weld up the rear end so we can get that dialed. We finally got that bolted down. So yeah, basically we're just gonna work on everything besides brakes at the moment, and I don't know, figure that out. All right, guys, you can see that got this thing all welded up. What it is, I went through here and I re-welded all the spider gears. Somebody tried to at some point, but we ran over all their welds just to make sure it was strong. And I put a plate in there, welded it all the way to the spider gears. So we got welded and plates on both sides. This side's a little ugly. This is where a lot of the old welds were, but this should be good enough, I think. So now we got a 2-tire fire all the time, so we'll see how long this run lasts. Maybe it breaks, maybe it holds together, I don't know. Let's find out. Well, we put the tires on it to put it on the ground, and this is the car not on jack stands right now. I'm thinking that the blocks, we need to put blocks on the other side of the spring, not the bottom, which is weird because this is technically kind of where it should be factory. Put some weight on it. Yeah, bounce it a little bit. Yeah, we got about 180 million inches of travel on the back, so technically we could run it as a pre-runner, right? It's pretty close to pre-runner status. So like I said, I don't know why this car's sitting the way it is. We have the block on the bottom, but the axle itself is on the leaf spring. So why this car is sitting as high as it is, I really don't know. But we're gonna take that bolt out, take the bolts out, put the square tube on top, push the axle up like 2.5 inches, and suck the back of this car down, because this is just not gonna work. The bumper is like level with everybody's window, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to change that. I think I might need some shocks.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. We got a lot of work done, obviously. You know, we got shocks, brakes, a couple other small things to finish up. We are going to change some stuff in the front suspension. I don't like how low this thing is to the ground, so we're going to put some coil spacers in it to get this thing up in the air. But yeah, that's going to come in the next video. Hopefully the next video will be driving. That's the goal. So stay tuned. You know, like, subscribe, share. Appreciate you watching.